Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Court, and today, if you didn't know by the title of this video, we are picking my December TBR. I will be picking out of a TBR jar. Instead of a jar, I'm using the box that my TTPD bracelet came in that says "From the Desk of Taylor Swift, the Torture Poets Department," because it works the same and looks cute on my shelf next to my new snow globe. So this is now the TBR jar. I put several different prompts in there. For this month specifically, I did put in a prompt for my 10 Before the End, which is sitting right here, and I do want to focus on choosing books from that. That's why they're sitting here. And I also put in a prompt from my 24 for 2024, so hopefully I choose those prompts this month, because otherwise I'll have to take them out because they'll be irrelevant. I wanted to prioritize those books because I would like to get as many of those accomplished before 2025. There's several other prompts in here. We'll give it a good shuffle. We'll choose about 6 books. I think 6 is a good number. I do not have a TBR cart. I'm hoping to get a TBR cart soon so I can fill it and we can choose from the TBR cart. However, I'm just going to choose from my shelves. I know the books that I've read. I know the books that are on my TBR. I have over 150 on my physical TBR right now, so I'm just going to choose. I have 2 shelves over here, this large shelf, and this large shelf. So there's plenty of books to choose from. So let's get started. Our first pick, let's choose this one. Highly anticipated. So I have 2 on my 10 Before the End that are highly anticipated. First, we have a novel love story by Ashley Poston, not sure how you say her last name. This one was highly anticipated because I've given both of her other books 5 stars, so this is a good option. My other option is One Dark Window because I have heard lots of good things about One Dark Window, and I know a lot of people in my first video, on my 10 Before the End video, told me that One Dark Window is so good, and it made me really excited to read this. So this is the other option. Out of the 2 of these books, I think I'm gonna go with One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig because I'm more in a fantasy mood because it is winter time, and this one is super anticipated for me because of everybody commenting on my video of my 10 Before the End saying how good this book is. So this one is probably my most anticipated right now besides Kingdom of Ash. So I really want to get to this one and also 2 Twisted Crowns. Maybe I'll get both done, but for now this one is going on the TBR. Next pick one is a book about books. For a book about books, this might be a stretch, but we have Unloved by Peyton Corinne, not sure how to say her last name. However, she's a fantastic writer because Unsteady is one of my favorite books of all time. I got an early copy of Unloved. It comes out next February. This is a hockey romance, and she also tutors him or he tutors her, one of the two. And there's books on the cover, so it could be about books, technically. My other option for this prompt is a novel love story because I know our main character, Elsie, goes into her favorite book, like her favorite small town romance book. She's transported into this small town in her favorite small town romance book, something along those lines. So that is also about books, and there's a book on the cover. So these are both great options. And this one's on my 10 Before the End. This is also on my 24 for 2024, so that would be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I do think that I am going to choose this one for this prompt, and it just makes more sense for the prompt, a book about books. So I'm going to choose this one, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, for my December TBR. Okay, pick number 3, a one-word title. I don't have any one-word titles on my 10 Before the End, and I don't think I have any one-word titles on my 24 for 2024. I have 2 options for one-word title that I'm kind of in the mood for this month. The first being Betty. This is by Tiffany McDaniel. She's born to a white mother and a Cherokee father. It's set in, I believe, 1954. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and I got it at my local bookstore like in March, and I haven't read it yet, so I do kind of want to get to this one as soon as possible because it's been on my TBR for quite some time. I've also heard nothing but good things. Everybody I know that's read this has loved it. Some have even given it 5 stars, so I'm really intrigued. This is also literary fiction. This would give more diversity into our genres for the TBR, so that's always a good option. The other option, again, is Unloved. Unloved is a one-word title. The only reason I'm hesitant on reading this right now is because it does come out in February, and I would like to read it as close to the release date as possible, so this is a good option for maybe a January TBR instead of December. And this is definitely going on my 25 for 2025. But I think the good pick for my December TBR would be Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. It's been on my my TBR the longest, and I've been super excited to read this one ever since I bought it. So Betty by Tiffany McDaniel is our third pick for our December TBR. Pick number 4. I got a free pick. I'm gonna pick one of these, but the question is, which one of these do I pick? Do I pick Kingdom of Ash, or am I gonna get another prompt that's gonna let me pick Kingdom of Ash? Because I'm definitely reading Kingdom of Ash in December, so that would just knock off a TBR pick instantly. So that would be a good free pick, but I'm scared that I'm gonna get another prompt that will allow me to pick Kingdom of Ash, and then I could have picked something else like Firefly Lane. I really want to get to Firefly Lane as well. I'm doing it. I'm going with Kingdom of Ash for my free pick. I don't think I'll get another prompt unless I get my continuing a series prompt, and that's one out of the many that are in there. So I'm gonna pick Kingdom of Ash for my December TBR because I know I'm definitely reading it this month because I can't wait any longer to read this book. Pick number 5. I got it. A book on your 10 before the end. That would have allowed me to pick Kingdom of Ash. I am going to pick Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. This one, I cannot wait to read. I have been staring at it sitting over here on my shelf for so long, just wanting to pick it up. And even in my book slump, I was like, that book looks so good. So I'm gonna pick Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna for my December TBR. And our last one, I'm baffled. We're picking another one. Do you see that? Retry a DNF. Out of every single one in that box, this is the one I did not want this month. I have 2 options for this. First is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I tried reading this at the end of 2022, I believe, and I could not get through it. My bookmark is still in. I got about halfway through, maybe a little bit more than halfway, and DNF'd it. The way that mental health was treated in this book did not click with my brain, so I DNF'd it. However, now that I've grown up, experienced a little bit more of life, maybe I'll like it now. This is a good option because I did DNF this in 2022. So this is option 1 for this retry a DNF. Some of you may be mad at me, but number 2 is Flawless by Elsie Silver. I tried reading this for my book club last June, July, something like that. Last spring, summertime. So this is also an option for my retry a DNF. I got maybe 30% into this book. My bookmark's not still in there, so I'm not sure. I did not like the writing style. There was so much spice. I just couldn't get through this one particularly. I didn't even go on and read the rest of the series because I didn't like this one. However, I have read Wild Love and Wild Eyes. Wild Love I gave a 3. Wild Eyes I gave like a 4 or 4.5. I really did enjoy that book. It may be time to retry Flawless so I can get to the rest of the Chestnut Spring series. And I have these pretty covers, so I need to read them. However, because it is the winter time and I really want to read the Chestnut Spring series in the spring/summertime, I think I am going to pick The Midnight Library for my retry a DNF prompt for my TBR. Kirsten, if you're watching this, you're welcome. Because I got retry a DNF, we're picking one more. So our last prompt is a book with a map. I could have chose Kingdom of Ash for this too. None of the books on my 10 before the end or my 24 for 2024 have a map, so I'm gonna have to choose something random. My 2 options for books with maps. First is Spark of the Everflame. I recently got this sent to me from Atria, and I've been really wanting to read this series because a lot of people have been raving over it recently, and it does have a map. Just a little 1-page map, but it does have a map, so it would work for this prompt. My other option is I recently got in the mail The Last One by Rachel Housel Hall. This is from Red Tower. It is an early copy. It releases on, I believe, December 3rd. So this would be a good option for my December TBR because it does come out in December. And this one also has a map as well. So this is a good option for this prompt. I don't know anything about this book. I think it's enemies to lovers or like hate to love, and I'm here for that. I'm not sure it's part of the series, but it says thrown into a desolate land of sickness and unnatural beast, Kai wakes in the woods with no idea who she is or how she got. All she knows is that if she cannot reach the Sea of Devour, even this hellscape will get worse. But when she sees the village blacksmith fight invaders with unspeakable skill, she decides to accept his offer of help. Too bad he's as skilled at annoying her as he is at fighting. As she searches for answers, Kai only finds more questions, especially regarding the blacksmith who can ignite her body like a flame, then douse it with ice in the next breath. And no one is what or who they appear to be in the kingdom of Vineverde, including the man whose secrets might be as deadly as the land itself. I'm really not sure if this is a standalone, a series, but it sounds really good, and it does come out in December, so I think this is going on my December TBR for our last bit. Let's run through each book one more time and what prompt I chose them with. My first prompt was highly anticipated, and I chose One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. My second prompt was a book about books, and I chose A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. My third prompt was a one-word title, and I chose Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. My fourth prompt was a free pick, and I chose Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. My fifth prompt was a book on my 10 before the end, and I chose Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. Then I unfortunately, but maybe fortunately, pulled Retried DNF, and I picked The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And then I picked an extra, which was a book with a map for our last and seventh pick, and I chose the last one by Rachel Housel Hall. These are the 7 books on my December TBR. Let me know down below what you plan to read in December. Anything you want to let me know down in the comments. I love to chat books with you guys. If you want to see reading vlogs of any of these, please let me know down in the comments. I'm so happy to be doing this and to be filming my love of reading for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Leave me a little comment to respond to down in the comments with something you're excited for in December or any books you're excited to read in December, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And you hang from my lips like the gardens of Babylon. Oh, that one fell out. Should we just choose this one? No. And maybe let's just drop them all. You're a cowboy like me.